Happy Halloween, fuckers. I had nothing to with that intro. What's up, everybody? I know you've been waiting on us, but we were waiting on one of our very special guests. So, how's everyone doing tonight? And happy Halloween, fuckers, even though it's not Halloween.
I'm doing good.
How are you, Christy?
I'm here. I'm hopefully I'm great. Other than that, I'm great. And really, Eric.
Yes. Apparently, Eric Breen, fell asleep. Waiting and waiting. God, what a bunch of whiners. More specifically, Eric Breen. Not the rest
Eric.
of you. Not the rest of you cool people.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's been a while since we all streamed together. I think we were talking about another movie, and we had Dr. V with us. And all of you out there listening, how's my audio, by the way? Because, yes, I've been dicking with settings, and I don't know how I sound streaming yet compared to Kalea as well as Christy. So hopefully.
Yeah. How do we all sound?
Waiting for a response. There we go.
No.
All right, nice. All right, good. All right. Terminator Dark Fate. Oh my God. So if anyone was paying attention to Twitter last night, I'm pretty sure you have a pretty good idea of my thoughts on this movie.
Oh yeah.
I hated it. We'll get into that. I have a review I'll be doing too, so I'm not gonna waste all my really good material tonight.
Aw.
Darn.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it deserves it though, because it's that bad.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. I hated it. Like I said, I really fucking hated this movie. Compared to Gynesis, I thought it was gonna be like just another stupid franchise reboot that they tried to do. Oh no. It's far worse than what I expected. At least with Gynesis, I was just like, yeah, this movie's dumb, and I moved on with my life. This was like fucking vandalization of the first two Terminator movies. I was pretty pissed about it. How about you, Christy? And
I freaking hated it. And when I did my initial review, I was just really mad. Obviously, when they killed John Connor, everybody's been harping about that. Well, it's a reboot, or not a reboot, but we're just trying to move forward with that. But it's just I can't with this movie.
It's not. That's the thing. It's not
exactly.
A reboot. It's not a reboot. They fucking. It's a continuation. They said it that this is going to replace Terminator 3. This is the new Terminator 3, and they open it up with killing John Connor. So that made me pretty damn angry. But the treatment of Sarah Connor is what really pushed me over the edge and really pissed me off.
I completely agree.
I agree too.
You okay there, Kalea?
Yeah, sorry. I found the headphones. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes. Why am I making noise?
You were a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Sorry.
That's cool.
I'm done now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The opening, I just was like, wow, that's really the taste in our mouths that you want to give us, like right off the bat. And yes. it just kept getting worse as it went on. Honestly, I thought it was way worse than I thought it was going to be too. I mean, they basically showed the whole movie in the trailers, though. Like I was thinking about that, and I was like, but there wasn't much to the movie, though. I mean, it was pretty.
Yeah, for the most part. Spoilers, everybody. I don't think anyone really cares. But this movie is, for the most part, a beat-for-beat remake of Terminator 2, but with a T3 ending bolted on at the end of it, is the best way to describe it. Overall, okay, so there's several things I'm going to say here. One of them is that there is a lot of competency to this movie. in certain ways, and a lot of it has to do with the way they just shit all over the Terminator franchise, and really by franchise I mean the first two movies. Um, the I would say the majority of the acting in the movie is actually pretty solid. Linda Hamilton does a fine job. Arnie does a fine job. And again, this is what the garbage lines that they were handed with. They were handed. I would even say Gabriel Luna is actually a pretty decent actor. He didn't sell me on the part for sure, but the scenes he was in, he wasn't terrible. The only person I honestly had an issue with was Natalia Reyes. She was the one that was supposed to sell this part as being the new future savior of humanity, and it's just like you're basically the escort quest in a video game. That's all there is to her character.
I was going to say, do you know who Second Street Marvel is? Or have you heard of him?
No.
No. He saw Dark Fate, and he said Danny was Dora the Explorer.
Wow, that's actually pretty apt actually. I'll be honest with you. The one I thought I wasn't going to hating was Mackenzie Davis, and I think she's a pretty solid actress. The stuff I've seen her in, she was in *Halt and Catch Fire*, and she was in *The Martian*, and a bunch of other stuff. I was surprised. I did not hate Grace. I was very surprised by that. And
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't bad at all. I don't even remember her in *The Martian* though.
No, she was like one of the scientists that was working to help save Matt Damon.
She was the girl that first in *The Martian* that figured out that Mark Watley was still alive, looking at the satellite or whatever she was doing.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, overall, my initial issues I had, honestly, they kind of rectified in the movie. They didn't make her a Mary Sue. They gave her some, flaws. The whole thing with the short burst and fighting the Terminator, made sense. I thought that the whole thing with the drug was kind of ridiculous, though. That was a bit over the top. I was watching Apabin's review, and he called the drug that she needed neuropazine. So if you haven't played any of the Deus Ex games, that probably doesn't make any sense to you. But it's this anti-cybernetic rejection medication. So that's kind of what it reminded me of, which is just so true. I would say the first 2/3, if you just ignore the Terminator name on it, is somewhat of a passable action film. And when you get into the third act is where this shit gets ridiculous. I mean, it's just like so fucking over the top.
What was the worst thing that you could think of if it was just over the top?
The whole plane scene. The plane scene, the stuff that when they you
mean like the odds of them like getting out in the Hummer and landing it and,
well,
all of that?
There's a lot of stuff that kind of annoyed me. It's like they're standing on the ramp of this C5, and it's open, and it's like the plane's taking off, and gravity still works. They would be flying out of the back of that plane.
That's true.
Yeah. And the whole thing with the Humvee, the fight in the water, and it was terrible. Completely terrible. I hated it.
And one thing that I thought about throughout the movie was the dialogue that they had, even for Sarah Connor. Like some of the stuff she said, I was just like, did she really just say that? Like I had to back it up and like hear it again. And the dialogue, I'm like, this is awful.
Yeah. They, like I said, they vandalize her character so much. It's terrible. And apparently Tito wants a wrench. Should I give him a wrench?
That's up to you. This is your channel.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Is he
I
is
mean,
he
he
trustworthy enough?
he is. He's a
Yeah,
wrench.
he
He's a
is.
wrench on my channel.
I know. I'm screwing with you. Tito, you got the wrench, man. Yeah. Just okay. So let's start with the positives, and then we can go moving on to shitting all over this movie. What were the things that you liked about this movie, if you found anything likable?
Which one do you want to go ahead, Kalea?
Okay. Well,
You can
I'll
go.
move. Okay, we'll start with you, Christy, and then we'll move to Kalea.
I just like the action. That was really it for me. If I just went into this just watching it as just a strictly an action movie, I would have been okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it had a ginormous franchise behind it, and I just can't take away from that. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that was the only thing. The dialogue, that dialogue was awesome. Let me tell you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mackenzie Davis.
Yeah, she killed it in that movie. I'm not going to deny it. She did a great job.
She honestly, I thought it would, with Linda coming back. Arnold has been in the other canon or the other like alternate universe ones, but with Linda Hamilton coming back, that was the top seller for me. I mean, Linda Hamilton is a badass. The scene in T2 where has the bed and she's doing the push-ups and stuff like that.
Yeah, the pull-ups.
Or the pull-ups, the push-ups, good. Sorry. And I was like, damn, I want to be like her when I grow up. And she's a badass in this movie, but her character development is horrible, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. And there's what really sold me with T2, and this was in the trailers, is that scene where, you know, her hair's all over the place and she looks like this crazy bitch and she's cocking the shotgun one-handed, shooting it. And I mean, that is like the fucking coolest thing, you know, I've seen, you know, back in the early 90s when that movie came out. That was just fucking cool. You know, I mean, she had this intense look on her face and she fucking sells that, you know, and that's the thing. She sells, you know, the badass bitch, you know, character. And yeah, and in my opinion, Sarah Connor is probably one of the best heroines in cinema.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, yeah, absolutely. I didn't think about it actually. It's a toss
Her
up.
and Ripley.
I was about to say it's a toss up for her between her and Ripley over me.
Oh
personally.
yeah, I mean those are two very iconic, you know, heroines in cinema, and both of them are top tier characters. I mean, not, you know, the whole thing, even compared to other male characters. I mean, they're still top tier. You know, so what are your thoughts, Kalea? Anything that you think is, you know, good that you liked about it?
Well, I actually thought the only CGI that looked good was the de-aging they did for that opening scene. The rest of it wasn't that good. I thought maybe that's where they spent all their money, was the de-aging at the beginning. I'm trying to think. I did like whatever her name is, the blonde girl.
Mackenzie Davis.
Yeah, Mackenzie. I did like her. I did like Sarah Connor as well. Even though I didn't like what they did with the character, that she acted well. Yeah. The other girl, she was all right. I don't know. There's really anything else. Like, it was filmed all right. Just thinking about how much money they spent to make this movie, I'm like, where did it all really go though? Like, I don't know. It just didn't seem like it was that expensive of a movie to make.
I heard that like a lot of it was like blue screened or green screened.
Yeah, it is. That's the thing. That's why I'm like, I mean, they should have used some practical effects and stuff and make it really cool. And a rewrite, but yeah, there's not much that I would say that I liked. Probably just the actors, those two actors. Arnold was all right. I mean, to me, he's old and done. But I loved him in Expendables.
Mm-hmm.
I love those movies, but I think now he's kind of, I don't know. I don't like what they did with him either, though. So
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. So much crap I hate about this movie. The things I'm like I said, for the most part, this movie is, in a lot of ways, there's a lot of beats stolen from T2. Like the whole thing when they're at the auto plant and the Rev 9 shows up. I mean, it's basically the scene from the mall of T2, and then you have the chase scene that happens afterwards, just like with T2. I actually thought those scenes were pretty decent action wise. The biggest problem I had with it was the fucking Rev 9 jumping around, and that's just too current year cinema for me. The thing I liked about the first two Terminator movies is that you had, I wouldn't say that Arnie's Terminator was slow and lumbering, but he didn't need to run. He just he didn't do these like crazy shit acrobatics. I mean, he's a big muscled murder robot. And then in T2 you had the guy who was thin. He wasn't as imposing physically, but he wore the uniform of a police officer, somebody you're supposed to go and trust. And it kind of subverts that whole thing with the authority and just the look on his face in T2 is just so inhuman at times. And I love that scene where he kills the security guard in the mental hospital with his finger, and he does that kind of curious cocked head look at him, and it was just really well done. You didn't have anything like that with the Rev 9. There was nothing, like I said, that made the thing unique or interesting or intimidating or frightening. Despite the fact that Diego Luna did a good job acting wise, you get the point, James. You get the point when I talk about the whole thing with trusting authority and cops and like that. I mean, you also have to think about the time period too, where I think there was a lot more trust in the police in the early 90s than there is now. Even like, before Rodney King and everything. There was nothing really kind of interesting about the Terminator. It's just there.
Yeah, that was my problem, is that he just shows up. Like, we don't get any kind of backstory on, I mean, you get a tiny bit, but not really. And yeah, all he does is just that liquid thing where he becomes two and stuff and shoots out spikes from his body, and that's about it. And I'm like, and he was not scary at all. He was just kind of more annoying to me than anything.
Well, yeah, he felt more like kind of like an inconvenience to get to the finish line, right?
Yeah, he always has nothing, to. Yeah,
there was nothing. The best way I put it is that there's no sense of urgency in this movie. There's no threat.
No.
Danny Reyes is kind of huddled by all these protectors. You have, you have Grace, you have Sarah Connor, you have Carl, and they all just kind of run with her, protecting her from, this inconvenience along the way.
Yeah, and that's like the whole plot, is just them protecting her and they're just trying to figure out a way to get some bigger guns or figure out a way to kill the one Terminator. And it's just one Terminator the whole movie.
Yeah.
And it's just annoying to me because from the trailer, I thought we were going to get something badass, like how it shows those guys coming out of the water and there's like a bunch of them. Like, okay, we're going to get something good in this movie. I mean, even though it wouldn't be great, but still something. Mm-hmm. But to me, it just felt so small. It reminds me of that Bumblebee movie where it was just such a small thing in the Terminator. I mean, in the Transformer universe, I did not like it. It's kind of the same concept where, I mean, smaller stories can work for me, but not when you're dealing. To me, that you can't in these kind of universes where there's just so much going on in Transformers or Terminator. that I feel like that they needed to do more than just trying to protect her. There needed to be something else. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It just seemed kind of just simple and boring.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think, comparatively to the other movies, Terminator 1, you had, Kyle Reese, a mere mortal, protecting Sarah Connor against this murder robot that is practically unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
And in T2, you have this obsolete T-101 sent back to protect John, and against the very advanced T-1000. And with this one, you have a single Terminator, which quite frankly should have been blown up on the highway scene. That was something that it stuck with me for a moment. And I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And it was, she shot the thing with a fucking bazooka. Okay.
Yeah.
That thing would be blown to shit. Even going back to Terminator 1, Kyle Reese shoves a pipe bomb into the pelvis section of the Terminator and blows it in half. That is a simple pipe bomb, not as powerful as a bazooka. The Rev 9, skeleton would be gone at this point. And
that's what I mean is they needed to establish if it had to have had some kind of healing factor that's different than the others for it to be able to survive all of that.
Yeah, well, not even just a healing factor. Just, I mean, you could say that the liquid metal or nanites or whatever the fuck it's supposed to be has the healing factor, but the metal skeleton, not so much.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Yeah. So Sarah Connor, using weapon designed to take out tanks, shoots the Rev 9 and it just shrugs it off like it's nothing. And it's just like, but at the end, it gets jammed in this fucking turbine, tearing it apart. It's like, for fuck's sake, come on.
And then that still didn't kill it, though.
No, it's just ridiculous.
It was like, like they do that, and then on top of it, they had to use like the life, like the they had to take her life source or whatever of the robot girl.
Yeah, her power source. Yeah,
her power source and then that apparently was enough to stick it inside of it and blow it up.
Yeah. I guess Bad Bunny, it's an RPG. I don't know. Whenever I think of RPGs, I always think of like the ones from like the 80s with the big thing on the front of it. It just looks like a rocket launcher or a bazooka. It's essentially the same fucking thing.
Yeah, and then she throws another grenade on top of it. Like she throws it. Doesn't she throw a grenade off the bridge or something?
Yeah, she throws it on the liquid metal one, which really doesn't do anything to it. So yeah, it's
and then none of the guns that Arnold had in his like house of guns none of those could do anything either.
No.
So
it's just stupid.
And there just wasn't just enough detail. Like you know what I mean? Like there wasn't much about her and how they kind of modified her body really, and you just didn't really learn anything about anything. It was just, they could have just taken Terminator off of it and it'd been the same thing basically.
Yeah.
So
what did you really hate about it?
The whole thing. Oh, really hated.
Yeah.
The dialogue is just atrocious. And how I don't like how they treated Sarah and how she's like, well, I, save billions of lives. Is that good enough for you? No, it's not. And it's like, oh my hell, like really? Like I don't see how there's no way she's never even heard of her. I'm like, come on, just because Skynet doesn't exist anymore. Come on.
Why would they? I mean, at that point, to be honest, it's not like she went down in history as really doing anything at that point.
Well, she didn't. I thought she would have.
No, she did technically, but I mean, at this point, she would be famous to the government as being wanted, much like it was in the movie. But the thing I thought was
I
pretty.
don't know. I thought she would be, but
Well, I mean, it's kind of the whole thing with the whole her being crazy. She's locked up because they think she has these delusions and whatnot.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure that they just saw her as this kooky terrorist at this point. That
yeah, they
blew up
did.
Cyberdyne because she thinks that robots from the future are out to murder her son and her. I mean, even though it's actually the truth.
Yeah.
It's just yeah.
So what you're gonna say?
The thing I thought was really dumb dialogue wise is what you were saying previously. She's like, I say 3 billion lives. You're welcome. And it's just like that was fucking stupid.
Mhm.
That was really fucking stupid.
Yeah, like she didn't need to say the "you're welcome" part at all. Like she could have told her story.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You're fine. But I was gonna say comment about how badass she was cocking the shotgun in T2. Was it T2 that she did that?
Yeah, she did that
I
in
thought
T2.
I thought that would have been a cool lesson to kind of expand on when she kind of taught the girl kind of how to shoot and stuff. Like do something more badass than what she kind of did. I mean, it was fine, but I don't know.
Well, a lot of it, that they so missed the mark on with this movie is that Sarah's journey through Terminator 1 is that she starts off as the meek waitress and gets thrown into this world, that's just completely insane. This guy shows up saying that he's from the future, trying to save you. I mean, that's fucking bizarre. It's just like what happened with T2, where they think she's fucking nuts. I mean, and he basically kidnaps her in a nutshell. But then once she encounters the Terminator, she realizes, holy shit, he's telling the truth. It's about her journey and growth from being this kind of meek waitress into, she gets the fucking kill shot at the Terminator at the end. You're terminated, fucker. And she crushes it. I mean, that's, just a huge transformation of her character. Well, you don't get that with Danny. She's the escort mission. She does absolutely nothing. And that's the problem with this character is that if she's supposed to be the next savior of humanity, she doesn't fucking sell it. She's this 5'2" girl. She can't even shoulder a shotgun properly.
No.
And she's gonna be the savior of humanity. Really? I mean, they had absolutely no journey for her character. She ended the movie exactly the same she started in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Didn't you love the training scene, 30 seconds or something like that? When you have John from T2, who it's assumed and that his mother has been telling him and talking to him about it. Mm-hmm. But she, like you said, she has no growth in this movie. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. And that's the thing. The issue with this movie, despite the competent parts of it, there are 3 characters that they just totally fucking destroy. Yeah, obviously, the first one is John Connor. And John Connor, honestly, that's a mercy killing. That is a complete fucking mercy killing, in my opinion. Because they killed him. They didn't ruin his character.
True.
Where Sarah Connor, complete vandalization of her character. I mean, just everything about her character is just so horrible in this movie. And they could have had, this interesting arc with her, but they didn't. She's old, bitter, and hates everything, and she drinks herself to sleep every night. And a woman of 65 is not going to last long doing that. The other thing too, that she says she does in the movie is that she hunts Terminators, and it's just like, how? I mean, it took, a lot to destroy the first one in T1. If you don't have explosives to use against these things, you're not going to do shit to it. So how are you hunting Terminators at this point? Yeah.
How does she find them?
Well,
the thing is,
she's getting a text from Carl.
But how does she hunt and kill him when she can't even kill that one by herself? Like, how is she killing a Terminator by herself? Like, all these years when she couldn't even help kill this one.
John or the Rev 9? Or, sorry, the one that killed John or the Rev 9, I should say. I'm guessing the Rev 9 is what you're referring to.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about Rev 9.
Okay.
Just because she's saying that's what she's been doing this whole time since he killed his son, John.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so you've been out there hunting them, but I mean, I guess they're a lot different than this Rev 9 one. We don't know, I guess, because they never show her killing one.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of cool.
That's hilarious. By the way, because the new Terminators are produced in China.
So I just
That's
looked
funny.
up all of the writing credits for this, and they're all men,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Yep.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that, Kalea?
Because it's such a feminist movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. That's one of the things. Okay. If anyone out there is listening right now and you're like, yeah, this movie doesn't have an agenda. Holy fucking shit. Yes, it does. The whole thing, the train scene is where you get the second info dump. And it's basically a feminist talking point about how women are reduced to just being a product of their uterus. I mean, it's just, oh, that so denigrates Sarah Connor's character. I mean, that is the point in this movie where I just got super pissed off.
Oh yeah. Well, and also the agenda of the border.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
you have that too.
But no, I mean the uterus obviously is the most glaring thing that they. Yeah. So
and the second one is what they did to Arnie's character.
No, that's Carl.
Yeah, Carl.
Yeah.
Carl.
What is he? See, I only watched the movie once because I was like, I'm not watching this movie again because I was like, is he hanging curtains or drapes?
Yes, he's a draper.
yeah.
He creates, because there's a whole fucking scene, not a whole scene, but there's like, he has like probably like 10-15 seconds of dialogue where he's talking about drapes.
Yeah.
So I had this one client and he wanted solid colored drapes, and I was like, no, that's a bad idea. You should get like fluffy bunnies or balloons or stripes or something. And it's just like, holy fucking shit. It's like,
I'm telling you, it's the dialogue in this shit.
yeah.
Oh.
It's, oh my God. And this is going to be in my actual review that I'm doing, folks. But there's this absolutely hilarious Mary Sue article.
Yeah.
Let me see what it's called again. Oh, this is, it's precious. It's precious.
You mean the title of it?
Yeah, the title is "We Went There: A Feminist Interpretation of Terminator: Dark Fate." Hasta la vista, man, babies.
When you sent me this article, I was like, there's no way. There is no way. So I read it at work and I kept saying, are you fucking serious? You gotta be kidding me. You're fucking serious? And my coworker, he's like, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? So I had 15 coworkers ended up reading that thing. And we all got into discussion like, what is wrong with this generation? And just with this talking. That's a horrible article. The Mary Sue.
It's fucking hilarious.
It really is.
Retarded the article is. And just like, you know, the stuff that they put in there is like the male presenting Terminator. It's like, who fucking says this? Who fucking writes shit like that? It's like, it's just so.
And there's comments
dumb.
that say that the article is good too. I read some of the comments.
I know.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Goodness.
Oh God. And it's like, yeah, there's someone in there. Like, that's how I interpret this movie too. And they go through the whole thing. It's like, you know, Skynet and Legion or the patriarchy, and how Carl, the domesticated Terminator, is a male feminist and all the stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, Holy fucking shit. It's like I don't know if they intentionally did that or not. I have no proof. I mean, it sure seems like it was intentional. I mean, they did everything to like not make this character hyper masculine like he was in the other two. And one of the scenes that I was just like, you fucking pieces of shit. I can't believe you did that. It's when he's at the cabin, he's getting ready to leave. He picks up his glasses and he goes to put them on, and you hear the Terminator music, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be awesome. And then he puts them down, and you're just like, oh, fuck you, movie, fuck you.
Right? I thought that same thing. I totally forgot about it though. But yeah, I was like, oh man, because I was like, this can be so cool. And nope. It was more of like a. It's kind of like a
subverted.
It's kind of like a Jake Skywalker thing, getting his lightsaber handed to him. It was kind of like one of those moments. Like, nope. He might as well have just thrown him over his shoulder. That would have been. That would have been kind of funny.
Really, yeah. You might as well. I have no more testicles. Throw him over his shoulder. Wow. Holy fucking shit. Hey, Blue-Eyed Scorpio, man. It has been a while. How are you doing? But damn, this movie. Fuck. I mean, seriously, they made Arnie's character a neutered fucking dog. They cut his dick off in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's just...
Yeah.
The whole... I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say, I'm reading the article again while y'all are talking, and it's just so atrocious. The three women are diverse in age, ethnicity, and appearance. I really can't tell you how exciting it is for me to see a young Latina woman, a tall, shout out to all my fellow tall women, and a...
Hey, girl.
And I don't know what that word is. It's a big word. I don't know what that word is. It's talking about Mackenzie Davis's character and
androgynous.
There you go, an androgynous woman and a woman in her 60s. Oh damn! It just skipped on me.
Yeah, but but then later
fighting together and kicking robot ass.
They actually don't kick robot ass because it takes the whole movie for them to kill it. But but then later they're like, well, it's not as diverse as it should have been because two of the leads are white, and so they contradict themselves in that article because I'm like, yeah, I guess you could say that, but
the one that's really hilarious is how they're talking about their whiteness and privilege. Let me see if I can find it. I really should share this, but I'm not going to. Now, I must point out that the two of these three leads are white. So it's not as ethnically diverse as it could be. But I think the way their whiteness and privilege comes into play later in the film and the way that it is used is important to acknowledge. Grace uses her whiteness and the uniform of a Border Patrol agent to free Danny from a detention center. Sarah uses her military connections, which I guess is still white privilege. It's like, what the fuck? To acquire the weapon capable of stopping the Rev 9. And that's typically how I read that stuff before I throw the SJW sounding voice on it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, at least Gynesis was just stupid and sloppy and terrible. This is just, it's fucking defiling the franchise. It's like, I don't know if I'm going to use this in my review, but the best way for me to describe it, it's like the writers all got together and went out for Taco Bell. It got like the worst shits ever and just blew it all over the franchise and then wiped their asses with the scripts of Terminator 1 and Terminator 2.
I looked up Terminator Genesis, and I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I should watch it.
I've seen it.
It's still the worst movie. It's still the worst Terminator movie, in my opinion. I mean, just because of how
Really?
cheap and lazy it is. Okay, all right. When it comes to like bad movies, cheap and lazy is terrible. This is a whole new level of go fuck yourself because of it's deliberate in its vandalization of Terminator. Like I said, there's it's far more competent than Genesis is, movie wise, film wise. Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's good. It doesn't mean I like it. It's still
Yeah.
a shitty movie, but it's a different kind of shitty is what it is. It's not, bad, incompetent, lazy shitty. It's deliberate vandalization shitty.
Okay.
It's kind of like my best way of explaining it.
I don't even know how the movie we just saw though, Dark Fate, even gets made though. Like with that much money, that big of a budget, and they really think that is gonna get them to make money. They're gonna lose so much money on this movie.
Oh fuck yes, and that's a good thing.
Do you?
It
do we
is.
know?
It's great, but I just don't know how a studio would be like, yeah, this is a great script. Let's make this.
Do we
Yeah.
know what the overall like opening weekend box office was?
28 million.
Yeah, it was like
Wait,
28,
are you
29 million.
serious?
Yeah, they lost
Yeah.
money. They lost 120 million on this movie.
What was the
Well-
projected? What was the projected? What, like 100, like 75 to 100
No.
million?
Wasn't it like 36 at first?
No, it was higher than
It was
that.
higher?
I want to
Oh.
say it was between like 36 and 45 or something.
Wow.
Well, they
Yeah.
spent what 120? Was it 120 or 150 making it?
No, it was 180 to 195.
Yeah, and then
That's
then they
before
spent
marketing costs.
another.
That's before marketing.
Yeah, and that's another 100 million right there, probably.
Excuse me.
So-
Yes.
That's okay.
So they have to make at least what around 500 million to make a little bit, maybe. But
Tina's pointing out it's 450 million to break even. That's just a break even. That's recouping their money.
zero.
Yeah. With a zero, hey, you made a profit of $1 if they
Right.
go over that. It's just fucking. I mean, this is the failure we need in the box office for this shit
yeah.
to fucking stop.
Next is Star Wars. That episode 9. That sure as hell better bomb too, or I'm gonna be pissed.
No, it'll make $1 billion. I know it will.
Well, it will, but I think it will still make less than Last Jedi, though.
Yeah. DB Washburn, it was Paramount that made this movie. But yes, I also have to agree with what you said. Genesis is bad, but it was still a kind of what the fuck shit show. And I agree with you that I mean it's like fun for all the wrong reasons.
I liked watching Genesis. I actually own the DVD.
I mean, as much as it made me mad what they did to John Connor, but it's like, yeah, what the fuck ever, it's I got over it really fucking fast. So, Eric Breen, you're so spot on. Hasta la vista, man, baby money. But yeah, it's like it's one of those movies that because it's so bad you can't take it serious. Where this movie's different. It's a huge fuck you to the fans is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why couldn't they just let John live and they stopped Skynet and he was just like over all of the fighting, wanted to live like quote unquote like a normal life. And then you start it that way. 20 years later, Grace comes and try to categorize it that way, where he's still an adult and maybe he's saving the next generation, and done it that way. I thought that would have been a better idea.
There's a number of different things they could have done. The idea I kind of had floating around in my head is if they really wanted to do a continuation, it shouldn't have been about sending a Terminator back in time to kill John Connor or Sarah Connor. It should have been about sending a Terminator back in time to ensure the existence of Skynet.
Yeah.
A light bulb is going off in my head. I'd never thought about that.
Yeah, that's really what they should have done with this movie if they wanted to make another one and make it a direct sequel to, you know, to T2. But here's the thing. This is kind of my problem with the Terminator franchise. Well, at least with T2 and going forward. The whole thing that they explain, this is the exposition in Terminator 1, is that they just had enough time to send one Terminator back. You know, they sent Kyle Reese back, and then they blew the time displacement chamber. Now, depending on what you consider canon or what you like, whatnot, they kind of solve this problem in the comic books because there's like different facilities that are different like nodes of Skynet. It's like they took down Skynet proper. And the Tempest, the comic book Tempest that was put out in the 90s, it was actually put out in 1990 before T2, which is just an interesting story. It's a role reversal. They're sending back soldiers back in time to stop Skynet, and Skynet is sending back Terminators to stop them to ensure the existence of Skynet. So the way they rationalize that is that there's these different nodes that they've been going around cleaning up for several years that have these displacement chambers. And so that's how they're able to go in the past. So like I said, the comic book rationalizes how they're able to kind of continue the story, where T2 does not. It's just, another two Terminators get sent back in the past. Well, why? Why did they get sent back in the past? And it's been a while since I've seen T2. Maybe they actually do explain it. But at this point in time, there shouldn't be any more time displacement devices to send back murder robots and heroes or protectors,
With the comics, wouldn't they need to get whoever... Did James Cameron still have the rights to the comics, or... you know how like with George Lucas and like the EU or trying to get approval or however that is.
You mean in canon?
Yeah.
And whatever. It's just what am I trying to say?
The rights issues?
Maybe not the rights issues, but if there is already a comic out, why didn't they just go more towards that, like you just said, with that storyline versus even doing T2?
Because it was developed by Dark Horse Comics, and I don't know what the rights are around it. I haven't really looked into it, because I know that James Cameron sold it to the rights to his wife, and then they got divorced, and then the rights to Terminator kind of bounced around until it got to the current rights holder. And this year is when the rights revert back to James Cameron. So they were trying to do that new sequel or that new trilogy back in 2015 with Genesis, and this is kind of like their last attempt. So that they got the reason why James Cameron is a producer is because he gets the rights back at this point. And for the most part, if you guys go and watch the Midnight's Edge video about this, they do a fantastic job of covering all that has transpired with the rights to Terminator. But for the most part, James Cameron is like, I'm fucking done with Terminator. It ended with 2. And he doesn't necessarily want to go back to it either, because, there's all these different, filmmakers that kind of pissed in the soup, so to speak, as the article put it. And he doesn't want to say no, because it's his friends that are making these films, and he's going to give his quote unquote endorsement, even though he doesn't give a shit. So apparently Skydance currently owns the Terminator comic rights, but I guess they're still being published by Dark Horse. I know that there's still Terminator comics being made. And I've read a few. Salvation, the final battle is actually pretty good. 12-issue series that kind of covers. It picks up where Salvation left off. And it concludes, the end of the Terminator saga, which is a good thing. I mean, that's the problem with a lot of these franchises that they that we're going to get a franchise going, we're going to make all this money and blah 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 blah, and there's no end in sight, and it just evolves down to crap.
Yep.
I mean, you're right.
And the perfect example of this is, the Terminator franchise.
Well, I mean, it sucks, and that you watch these, or you've read the comics and stuff like that, and this is what we're going to be left with, is Dark Fate, because there's no way that it's going to be. You know what? You never say never. Somebody might down 5-10 years down the line might try to do something different, but who knows?
You were there on the drunk stream with Eglantine where I said, you just give it 5 years, it'll get rebooted again.
Yeah. But you have to remember, I was very drunk during that stream.
Yes, you were.
I was horribly drunk during that stream.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad I missed it. To me, what I think they should do in like 5 years is just completely start from like new characters, new everything, like just like go 100 years in the future, or 200 or 1,000 or whatever. I don't know. Like, I just don't think that they can continue on with kind of Sarah Connor and all of that. I just think that they've just been butchered enough that.
Well, they're banking on nostalgia at that point.
Yeah, they are. I mean, that's
exactly what they were doing. It's the only reason why
Star
they
Wars
had,
is doing too.
Yeah, it's the only reason why they brought in 2 old ass actors to
right.
To reprise their role. The issue with Terminator is that it should have stopped with 2. That's it.
Yeah.
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 And
maybe 5 years down the line we won't have any more woke stuff. Maybe then they'll be able to make something good.
No, but we might have. When I sent you that message about what the hell was it about the whiteness? What did I say about the whole whiteness and something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And you sent me welcome to intersectional feminism.
Yes.
I didn't know what the hell that was, so I had to look it up.
Yeah. Well, this is what it is. The Mary Sue is a intersectional feminist blog. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, it's the whole intersectionality thing is that, if you're black and a woman, you have these 2 areas where you can be hit, using the intersection analogy, being a woman and being black, which is great in theory, right? But in practice, it's the whole victimization Olympics thing. So this is the mindset, and reading that article is the mindset of intersectional feminism. It really is, because they just have all these really kind of crazy ideas, and it's all about oppression and how oppressed they are as women, and how minorities are oppressed, and it doesn't look at people as individuals. It looks at people as a collective. It looks at white people as a collective. It looks at black people as a collective. It looks at women as a collective, and there's no nuance. So that's the thing when they're talking about the whole thing with their whiteness and the male presenting Terminator. That's the thing that made me fucking laugh. I think it was male presenting machine is what she actually says. It's just like, who fucking talks like that?
Well, it's funny because after you see the headline and they're like, okay, first things first, I need to be upfront and say Terminator Dark Fate is not a very good movie. In fact, it's actually pretty bad, but it's a good popcorn flick. And as I scroll down, let's see here, but it's fun, and it provides us with a really important thing to examine, namely an action film centered around 3 badass women, varying ages, kicking all kinds of butts. What?
Yeah, basically.
But there's one thing they didn't touch on, which I thought was shocking because of all the stuff they talk about how women are reduced to just who
Their
they have,
organs,
like
yeah.
their organs. They don't,
Yes.
but they don't bring that up at all, which is weird because you think that they'd be like, oh, so
No, that it's
all.
mentioned in the movie. You know, it's when they're on the
No,
train.
it is in the movie. I'm talking about in the article.
No, it mentions it in the article too.
It
Yeah.
does.
Oh yeah, it does.
Where?
Where?
Where? Yeah,
Hang
because
on.
I didn't see it because it was in a comment, but it wasn't in a.
Okay.
How many times have you read this article, comics?
I've only read it once actually, but
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, I've gone through and I'm using it as clips in my review. Okay, they're talking about the whole thing with Sarah Connor. She is also bitter about being reduced by the system to just a womb in need of protecting.
Oh,
Yeah, she wasn't inherently worthy of protecting only the reproductive organs that would produce the real leader, her son. So yeah, that's where it's in.
well, they bring it up about Sarah, but did they bring it up about the girl?
Yeah,
And
they bring up about Danny towards the end of the
Oh,
article.
okay.
Yeah, saying that she is not just a receptacle for the heir to blah 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 blah.
And do you know anything about Legion?
No. On the fact it's Skynet 2.0.
I was like,
Well,
what? It was like,
that's the thing that's so funny about this movie. It's like, oh, we stopped Judgment Day. Skynet's gone. But this new murder AI develops. It's called Legion. It's completely different. It's not Skynet whatsoever.
and you're just
But then
like,
we don't learn anything about it, though. That's my issue. Is we don't
well,
learn.
you really don't learn much about Skynet. Well, I mean that's not entirely true, but you get the idea, you get the gist. It's really they don't need to explain it. It's Skynet 2.0. But
Yeah.
they stopped Judgment Day, even though Judgment Day happens still just under Legion and not Skynet.
yeah.
It's just like, why don't you just fucking call it Skynet then? No, it's different. It's Legion. It's not Skynet, but it is. It is Skynet. It still has Terminators, right? Yes, then it's fucking Skynet. I hate this movie.
Yeah. It's almost like they just need to leave it alone and just not do it anymore, which they won't, but they need to, because I don't see how they're going to sell people on a movie for it.
Yeah, I love Desolator Magic's comment. The entire series is just Amish propaganda. Yeah, okay. Zombie apocalypse, Gary. Skynet is Microsoft. Legion is Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Eric's comment, though. I think that should be acknowledged.
Two women running the same red light, intersectional feminism. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And you're right. J Money, it is really borderline misandry. I guess specifically third wave feminism. Not all feminism is misandry, but a lot of modern feminism is, because it stopped being about female empowerment and equality. It started to become really just about hating men.
Oh yeah, and putting them down and putting women up and giving women and then switching it, so instead of equal rights, women have more rights than men is what they really want too.
But don't you want to buy Mrs.
Like
Monopoly?
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. I'm like, Mrs. Monopoly. I told my mom about that the other day, and she was just like, "Oh my gosh," she can't even believe that something like that even exists. Because my mom's older and isn't on like the internet really, so she's just like, I just don't get how anyone would buy that game. Ugh.
It's just fucking stupid. But that's the thing. Okay, the thing that a lot of people don't get is like the comics division. I hate you. Why do you hate me, Bad Bunny?
Oh, we got some super chats.
Yeah, I know. I see that.
Okay.
Real quick. J Money J says Terminator franchise is done, plain and simple. I completely agree, sir. I completely agree. North American ham rammer. That's awesome. $5 super chat. I want a 6-episode miniseries of Norman Reedus as John Connor, Lena Headey as Sarah, fighting side by side some future with a Daft Punk synthwave soundtrack. That actually would be pretty fucking cool. You could totally go with that. With my idea of them going after the Terminator that's trying to start, get Skynet going. Yeah, that would be my my fantasy casting. And hail, Bear Nerd Fun. Oh, okay. Okay, Bad Bunny, gotcha. Hating men. That's funny.
Yeah, it's almost like they should go that direction in like 5 years as a mini series or a TV show.
Yeah, but honestly, they don't need to. It was fine.
Well, yeah,
Stopping at
it
T2.
is. Yeah,
That's ultimately my issue. It's the greed that is being done that's going on with in Hollywood right now. It's like they're trying because the fact that there's that lack of originality, lack of original storytelling, not wanting to take risk, playing things safe. We're just gonna get a reboot of a reboot of a reboot over and over again. It's like I said with my last video. There's certain things that make sense where you can just like recast and get a different director. And comic book movies are one of them. I'm going to use Spider-Man as a great example of this because they have so many stories that could be told. You don't need to build a franchise around something. You certainly can if it works and you don't fuck it up. But I'm fine with standalone movies that are about Spider-Man that tell a great Spider-Man story. That does not exactly work with the example I used was RoboCop. I don't want to see a fucking 50 RoboCop reboots in 5 months. Okay, I don't want to see it. And I'm not saying reboots are bad because one of my favorite horror movies is a reboot. I love The Thing, and it's a remake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a remake. It's a great movie, but there was such a huge time period between those two movies. It's 50 fucking years, roughly. So, but
yeah, there's very few remakes or reboots that are good. Like handful.
Yeah, and we got 5 years, roughly 5 years between Gynesis and Dark Fate.
Gynesis.
God bless Gary. He comes up with the greatest insights.
I know. Yeah. He does.
The Pee-wee 1000. That's fucking brilliant. So yeah, I mean, this movie.
Did you watch the Chronicles at all with Lena Headey?
I watched. I wasn't like a diehard Sarah Chronicles, but I did watch them. So I didn't like catch every episode. But I thought it was pretty interesting. Yeah, for what it was worth, it wasn't terrible. It was way better than obviously what we're getting now. And Summer Glau was like perfect for the Terminator because the work she did with Firefly, she is believable as this very kind of emotionless and robotic individual. So she could sell that part, and the fact that she's like this small girl isn't an issue because it's a fucking Terminator. It's a robot underneath that, the fleshy bits. So it doesn't matter how big. But the thing is that she sold the performance. She sold it with the performance. That's what made her character good.
Yeah.
And believable.
And she wasn't hanging fucking curtains.
Yes, and she wasn't hanging fucking curtains.
When it really sucks because there's only certain. I don't like to spend money watching movies. I actually spent money and went to a theater and watched this movie. And how many?
No.
And the people who were in the theater, they just kept going saying, "What the hell? What the fuck? What? No." I mean, it wasn't an enjoyable experience.
No.
For myself or others
wasn't.
in the theater. Because
how busy was the theater?
I'd say there had to have been at least 50 people in there.
Okay.
I mean, because I went and saw it during the on Thursday, not Thursday, on Saturday afternoon with my niece. So, yeah, great movie to take her to if she wants to be interested in Terminator.
Wah,
But
wah.
womp womp, and she goes, Christy, this is really stupid. Why are all? I mean, as a 12, she's only 12, and I have a 12-year-old telling me is this. I can't believe a 12-year-old knows what the word woke is. I'm like, you know what that means?
It's sinking into normie culture.
Yeah.
But it's great because I hate saying like the next generation because I'm just like it makes me feel old. It really does.
Yeah.
But she's like, I don't like this. I like the first. She's like, I like the second one that you showed me. I'm like, yes,
Thank
it's
God.
stuck. Thank God.
There's hope.
There's
for this.
hope.
Yeah, there's hope for the world at this point. D.B. Washburn, I don't blame you. I mean, I do like Firefly. I don't like fucking what's his name shows.
Nathan.
No. Not, I love Nathan Fillion. He's fantastic. He's what made
JJ.
that show rock.
You know,
No, fucking what's his name? He did Firefly, Dollhouse, and Buffy. I'm totally blanking on his name.
The guy that played Angel?
No. The
No,
director.
I haven't ever seen Firefly.
Joss Whedon. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Oh, okay, I know him.
Joss Whedon is horrible at TV shows. Where he really excels is his movies. You know, I really like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I hate the fucking TV show. I hated Dollhouse. I thought it was a terrible TV show. I mostly liked Firefly, and honestly, what sold it for me was the characters. I mean, the
You
episodes.
didn't like Buffy or Angel?
No.
Oh, blasphemy!
For shame.
Yeah.
For shame, big
that
shame,
is
man. I
Such
haven't
an
seen.
unpopular opinion too.
I wonder, is Firefly on Netflix or something? Because I haven't ever seen it, and I'm a huge fan of Nathan Fillion's, like huge.
Yeah.
So
Nathan,
I wonder where
all
I
the
can watch it.
actors really made that show, and
So what's it about?
it's
I don't even
Wagon
know.
Train to the Stars is really what it kind of is. But
I don't know what that is.
It's what the original kind of concept of like Star Trek was supposed to be, but they're outlaws. They're outlaws in space. You know, it's a western in space.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. The movie is like fucking fantastic. And yes, I have very unpopular opinions when it comes to Joss Whedon. I hate Buffy, the TV series. The one thing I liked about Buffy was Spike and Drusilla. Those are the only characters I thought were really interesting.
I freaking love the show, so.
I like the Buffy
But
movie.
I don't even think I've seen the Buffy movie, which is weird.
You've never seen that movie.
It's
Not the
it's-
movie,
it's
no,
good.
but I'm a huge fan of the TV show. I've been watching it every now and then because I've watched it through like 3 or 4 times. But no, I didn't even know. I don't even think I knew there was a movie. When did that come out? Same time as the
it's
show?
like late 80s. I want to say 88 maybe.
What's funny?
Because you thought it came out at the same time as the show. I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Yeah, the film.
You
fuck it,
okay?
it was 92. Holy shit! I thought it was late 80s, but it was actually 92.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't. Buffy the Vampire. Oh
Before you were born.
no, it
Bad
isn't.
Bunny.
No, it isn't. That I was born. It's not even the same girl. I don't even think I would like it.
No,
It's
it's
Christy
totally,
Swanson.
she's great. She's great in the movie.
I haven't ever heard of her, so
Pee Wee Herman
Which
is in
is-
the movie.
Yep.
I love him.
Rutger Hauer.
Yeah,
Am I
Rutger
saying that
Hauer
name?
is in it.
That's how I was
Rutger
introduced to him. Was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Really, Eric?
He always says that to me.
One of these days, Eric. One of these days, I'm gonna
pal,
drive. I'm gonna.
pal, right in the kisser to
There's
the moon, Eric.
there's probably a lot of stuff in the 90s I don't know about, even though I grew up in the 90s, because in the 90s I was watching Batman 1966 because my parents are so old. So I know a lot more about older shows than probably Eric does.
Mhm.
So
Don't be so sure about that. Eric's a fossil.
how old is Eric, anyways?
I don't know.
He's
You should ask
old
Eric.
old as the dinosaurs.
Old is so old. Very true.
I'd say
Larry,
he's
Larry.
probably in his 50s, is what I would say, which isn't really that old.
No, it's not, because I'm not that far away. That's gonna suck, man. It's like you're
Turning
officially
50?
fucking old. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you know, at least being in your 40s, you can still claim. Yeah, it's like okay, you're middle aged, but you're not really that middle aged. Eric is 57.
I'm only 37, so
Yeah, it's yeah, yeah. 45 from me.
that's not old. Eric is old.
You know, they say you're only as old as you feel, and sometimes we feel it. That's for sure.
What makes me feel old is you see what people talk about on Twitter and stuff like that, and I'm like, we didn't do that when I was a teenager. When I was younger, I don't think my mother did that. What the hell's going on? Like with what the hell's the girl's name? How dare you?
Oh, her. Yeah. The
I had that as a script.
you know who we're talking about, comics, don't we?
No.
The girl that was talking about like the weather, like the global warming, that girl.
Oh yeah.
Whatever her
You
yeah,
stole
like the
my
how dare
future.
you.
How dare you? Well, here's the funny thing. Okay.
How dare you.
Greta Greenberg, I think is her name. Yeah.
Yeah.
That speech she gave was actually very similar to a speech that was given by another little girl, Thunberg. Thank you, Greta Thunberg, in the 90s. It's fucking uncanny. It's the same talking points.
And
So,
I didn't believe that.
manufactured.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't believe that until I went back and I watched. I forgot what channel. I saw that old one from the 90s on YouTube. I'm like, I remember watching that in elementary school, and the line graph that they're talking about is still the same.
The hockey stick. Yeah.
Yeah, the hockey stick.
Yeah, the Inconvenient Truth movie.
Jesus.
Inconvenient that he didn't get his way with carbon tax and carbon credits. I mean, that's honestly why I think the reason why that movie was made is that, and the reason why Al Gore was really pushing so hard with the global warming thing is that he was trying to get carbon credits going, and basically he would sell pollution credits to companies to pollute.
Yeah. But the Greta, the how dare you is my screensaver at work. I love it. And everybody's like, who is that? And then I introduce her. I will play a clip and I will hear them in the office. They'll be like, how dare you? How dare you? And
It's so fucking melodramatic, and it's really interesting because like when she's not on script, you know, she doesn't have anything to say. It's really
no, she
yeah.
doesn't.
I occasionally my guilty pleasure is watching Sargon of Akkad, and yeah, I mean he covered a lot of this stuff, and he was talking about the whole thing with her, and you know how she's reading the script and how she was able to project those emotions and whatnot. But when she's not on script and they ask her a question, she has no idea what the fuck she's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, and another thing. I mean, I know we're talking about politics or just little.
That's fine. This is my channel. I talk about this shit on occasion. It's
Well,
not a big
okay,
deal.
because we're from Texas. Did you vote? Oh, well, there's voting today. Did anybody vote today?
I normally vote. I'll be honest. I still got 2 days, right? Isn't it supposed to be November 7th?
I don't know. I always do early voting.
I usually do too.
But
I actually fucking slipped past me this year, to be honest.
Yeah.
I normally, like I said, I normally vote.
I normally
And-
mail mine in. I don't remember when
How
that
can
I'm
you mail
supposed to
yours
mail that in.
in?
You
That's
can
an
sign up
option?
for them. You
Yeah, it
can
is an option.
sign.
It's mail-in
Yeah,
ballot.
they'll mail you the thing and you fill it out and you mail it to them, so you don't have to drive there and wait in line.
Damn, I didn't.
You
I didn't know
can
we could
change
do
it
that.
online. I don't know what it would be in Texas, but for my state, I'm sure if you just Google it, you can change it online. If you can't, you might be able to change it in person or wherever the building is for voting.
Is anybody
You'll
actually
be able
running
to-
in our state though? I mean,
I think it's more
local.
like local, like DA, sheriff, like
Okay.
city council and stuff like that.
Okay.
And half the time I don't remember some of the delegates or who they are, so I'm just like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. Because
I try to do research. If I don't,
me too.
Usually I typically vote independent. I'm very much kind of in the libertarian
What?
camp. Libertarian camp.
In Texas?
Yes, I know.
What?
Let's put it this way: in Texas, depending on where you're at, yeah, the Republicans are going to win. No
Oh,
matter what.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same with where I live in Utah. We've always been
one
red.
thing I was actually really surprised about was that Beto got really fucking close to ousting Zodiac. Really fucking close, and I'm so glad Beto lost.
That's a cool name, Zodiac. I love Zodiac Killer. Like criminal
It's
justice.
kind of
I'm like, that's cool.
it's kind of a joke referring to
Oh.
Ted Cruz as Zodiac. It's like there's like this thing that went around saying he resembled the Zodiac Killer.
He does.
and that's where the joke
He actually
comes from.
does.
Yeah. So that's why some people refer to him as Zodiac, and I'm not a fan of Ted Cruz. I really am not. But it was one of those. I don't want this fucking Beto guy getting in.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Yeah, my parents pay attention to politics and they still read the newspaper and stuff. So I just am like, who am I supposed to vote for? And they're like this and this. I'm like, all right, sounds good.
Yeah, I still
I don't
believe in the
care.
Constitution, and Beto should be nowhere near it.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna bring up somebody else, but she's in a different state, so it's completely different. No. I was gonna bring up our favorite girl that's on Twitter. That she's a darling Democrat.
Ocasio, AOC.
Yes.
Ocasio-Cortez.
I don't know who that is, but
God, she's fucking hilarious.
I'm just like, how did you get elected? I mean, are they that liberal?
She got lucky in a primary is what it was. Because she ran in a uncontested Democratic district, and she managed to oust the front running Democrat. And it doesn't matter, whoever's Democrat's going to get elected in this district, and that's how she got elected.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But
I think a lot of people just vote whatever party they've always been, and they don't really pay attention. I think that's what happens too.
Yeah.
Because I've done that before, just voted straight Republican, just because I'm like, I don't really want to sit here and try and figure out who. I mean, it's not a big deal for where I live in Utah. I mean, but like president, I voted for. I actually voted for Mitt Romney. Yeah.
By the way, we're already demonetized. I'm curious when we officially became demonetized.
Oh darn! Sorry.
No, it's okay. My last video got demonetized. I'm trying to figure out what my limit of saying the word "fuck" is in a video, because I said it only once in a couple of my previous videos, and I kept saying "fuck off" and "get fucked" in my last video. So I'm pretty sure that's what ultimately demonetized it.
What about our Joker review? Did that stay demonetized?
Probably.
Did you know? Probably. That's too bad.
No, I turned it off, so apparently it got demonetized.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Jesus.
Fucking YouTube. Fuck you. Fuck off, YouTube. Get fucked,
I mean,
YouTube.
seriously, fucking YouTube. Venkman had tweeted out something. I don't even know who it is.
Oh, he got that from me. That was
he-
Sargon. That's a Sargon video.
about the person who's demonetized. That's who I'm talking about.
Okay, maybe not then. I sent a link.
Purity Sin.
Oh, no shit. She got demonetized.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but she got demonetized.
I've met her once.
And she has a lot of subs and stuff like that. I just think it's ridiculous because they just give you the she tweeted what the like high purity sin during a recent review. Our team has carefully looked at your videos and they say stuff has been flagged, but that's just a generic video or response. I've gotten that response on something because I was flagged for something. And I'm like, okay, what the hell was it flagged for? It doesn't tell you. All it says is that your channel doesn't meet our guidelines.
Yep. Not advertiser friendly.
No.
There was a thing I sent to Anglintine's group chat where they're talking about the whole thing with basically in a nutshell, the easiest way of explaining this is that YouTube has a social credit system for YouTubers based off of your score.
The Peace score.
Yeah, the Peace score, exactly.
Yeah, the performance.
That was the one that he retweeted out. That was the Sargon video I was talking about.
Okay.
But they again, once it was discovered, they hid it. You could actually find in the HTML what your P score was, and now they're obfuscating it again.
That's
and,
crazy.
They're fucking slippery bastards.
I mean, but what other big platform? I mean, there's no other big platform though for most people.
And any platform out there they crush.
Yeah. Really,
Yeah.
Eric? Really?
I always thought it would be funny with my channel is to pretend like I'm an SJW and shit and just see how much better how I do. Like I always thought it would be interesting.
They don't do much better, honestly.
Or not even SJW, but like being like saying everything Disney makes is great and
a shill essentially.
Yeah, shill basically. Yeah, like and I always wonder how many channels do that.
I did a short video. I mean, I don't have a lot of subscribers on mine or channel or anything like that. I'm not monetized or anything. I don't do it for that. I do it to have fun and talk to people. Mm-hmm. But I purposely did a Batwoman video just to see, and I'm happy if I get 50 views. I mean, seriously, I'm really happy about that. But I got 400 views on a video that I did about Batwoman because I changed the title. And when they got to the video,
what did you change the title to?
Batwoman, she's the savior we need, or something like that. And
it was pretty funny. I did a bit of a clickbaity title for my Watchmen review. Mm-hmm. Where it was like, if you just saw part of it, it was like episode of Watchmen moved me to tears ... of boredom. And there's like this dude that was funny. He was calling me out, basically saying I had a clickbait title. I was like, "You fucking watched the video, didn't you?" And I talked about how bored I was watching the series. So,
see, I haven't started them yet. And so, should I watch Watchmen or should I? I'm a huge fan of the movie. Like I've seen it probably. I know it doesn't, but I mean, I'm just saying that I've seen that movie probably like 20 times. Like, and I'm talking the extended cut. Like I don't know why I just love it so much. And seeing the trailer for this show, I was excited when I heard about it, but then with the trailer, I was like, no way, I'm going to watch that because it's probably just going to destroy the movie for me.
Yeah.
Eric, you're pretty spot on, dude. Who watches The Watchmen? I mean, I couldn't finish the episode. Gary's stream went live, and I'm like, you know what? I'll watch this later. And it was pretty funny that they talked about the whole thing where they broke out the big blue dick, and it's just like,
Oh my
What?
gosh, they did?
Yeah, she has like this giant like fucking dildo. It's blue, and I guess it's supposed to be
Is
like
was huh?
yeah.
I thought I saw an image of that online
Yeah,
and I thought it was
Oh.
just
Gary
someone.
tweeted it. It's fucking hilarious. I
I
have
thought
a
it was just someone messing around with Photoshop. I didn't really
no.
realize it was
That's in
real.
it. It's in the
That's a.
fucking
I thought that was fake.
no. It's in the fucking episode.
Right?
Wow.
Why? Like, why does she pull it out?
Because
That's what she said.
Yeah,
Ah,
she
right.
why do you think she pulls it out? And then she has the intern
That's
fuck
what
her
he
with it.
said.
Oh,
So
man.
really interesting.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. I try to find my Twitter comment. It's pretty funny because somebody says, "What is that?" No. That's not what it was. Gary says this basically represents the entire Watchmen series. I was right, and I said, "Yeah," because the viewers are getting fucked on the ass with it.
Oh, I'm so glad I don't have HBO anymore. I just I want no part of it.
Yeah,
then
I probably
they-
should get rid of mine.
Yeah, the only reason why I have it, it was pretty funny. So PSA Sitch is a YouTuber I really like watching. He has his great fucking reviews of the episodes where he breaks everything down. And he's talking about the, you know, will Lindelof basically subvert the SJW narrative of having, you know, the whole thing with the Seventh Cavalry being a red herring, and you know work against the 2019 woke narrative. I'm like, okay, if that actually happens, I'll be somewhat impressed. So I'm sticking around to see if that's what they do. But holy fucking shit, the show is boring. It's so fucking boring. And last episode was really fucking boring. Oh my god.
That's too bad.
Yeah, and talk about vandalizing a character. What they did to Lori was terrible. And it's just, she's like this bitter bitch that fucking hates the world because of what happened as a result of Watchmen. And she has this very feminist joke in the episode where she's talking about how this bricklayer is going and well, okay, first of all, let me back up. They have like these phone booths where you can call Dr. Manhattan on Mars and like leave a message. So she's telling like this joke where it's like, the bricklayer has a daughter and she wants to learn how to lay bricks. So he's gonna go and build like this fire pit, and he finds out that he has a leftover brick and he's getting ready to smash it, and the daughter's like, no, I'll throw the brick in the air and something will happen. And then she tells another story, which is basically about her character, Dr. Manhattan, and Ozymandias all going to hell. And then at the end of the joke, the brick that the girl threw up smashes God in the head. And she, because he didn't see the little girl. And it's like this whole analogy about how women aren't being noticed and all this shit, which is completely untrue. It's just another, feminist trope, so to speak, the whole invisible women.
Oh hell.
Yeah. So
It sounds awful.
Yeah, it's absolutely awful. And it's just like,
is there anything good about it or no?
No. It's really, there's nothing good about the show.
That's sad because Watchmen, they had such great potential with those characters and everything. I mean, it could have been so good.
Yeah.
And it's HBO.
But
it's
that
not like
doesn't mean anything these days.
No. Well, what I mean by that is the wokeness or whatever, like I expect that on a CW show, like Batwoman. But with HBO, it's a streaming service. We have to pay for it. I mean, look what you get in Game of Thrones or something like that. And when going into, I was like, why is there an agenda in this show?
Because Damon Lindelof has, issues with his white privilege or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, there's actually a really interesting article that was written by Rolling Stone talking about it, and it's just like, it's titled like "Nostalgia is Toxic." And it's like all this stuff in it, and it's actually just like one line. It's a fucking clickbait title with like this small little paragraph where he talks about nostalgia being toxic, and it's not really the subject of the actual interview. It's just an interview with Damon Lindelof, and yeah, it's just terrible. And the thing that's so funny about it is that you can tell that the character of Angela is supposed to be a male. It was a male. It was written for a male. They changed the name. They made it a female character because there's like the scene where like her husband acts like a like the movie trope, and it's like, here she hands him a gun saying, shoot anyone who is not me. That is a fucking role reversal of like most action films where the protagonist hands the woman a gun saying, shoot anyone who's not me. And it's just like, it's so fucking cringy. It is so fucking cringy. It's like, her husband can't be an equal. He has to be a subordinate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm looking at the Mary Sue, their Twitter. Comics, you follow the Mary Sue.
I do follow the Mary Sue. They are such a great source of content when you have nothing.
They really are, though. It's just some of the stuff they post on here. Have y'all heard of about the Dickinson series on Apple TV or Apple, whatever
No, I have
their
not.
streaming services?
I just found out that they're doing a new Zorro series or movie or something, but they're making it a woman.
Oh my hell! Are you shitting me?
No, I'm not.
Fuck Hollywood. I'm sorry. But like, you do not touch my Zorro, okay? Like, Antonio Banderas. All right. Like, of course they're making it a woman because they have to.
2019.
They can't. But we can't make our own movie that's original, that's kind of like Zorro, but not call it Zorro. Like, oh hell!
Here,
I mean, watch. Is she gonna be? Chat. So is she gonna be Zorro like Zorro, or is she gonna be Zorro's daughter, and it's gonna be about the daughter?
Okay, so there, from what the article is titled, is Zorro TV show in the works, focusing on the masked hero's legacy, and of course, that legacy is gonna be a daughter. A new Zorro reboot starring a female protagonist is currently in production, thanks to a new deal between CBS, Propagate, according to report by Deadline. Yeah, so.
Okay, I'm going to be doing a short video on this. But did you know another remake of Black Christmas is coming out next month?
Are you serious? Oh, this is interesting. They also have in this article, I just scrolled and I happened to see it, an all-female spinoff of Into the Spider-Verse franchise is already in the works.
Yeah.
A-Force, folks. We're getting A-Force.
Congratulations, I guess. I mean, for those people who want to,
that Marvel.
Yeah, good luck with that. But the Black Christmas is coming out December 13th, on Friday the 13th. And I've seen a clip of the trailer, and they advertise it like that. It's coming out on Friday.
Wait a minute. Okay, so Tina mentioned, she said this in the chat. It says, Dickinson, I, a woman, hear me roar. Okay, I did see that trailer. I did see an ad for it, and I'm just like, whenever I was thinking Dickinson, I was thinking of the other one, Emily Dickinson.
That's who it is.
Yeah, that's who it is. I was thinking the other Dickinson who wrote like one of the Christmas things. Because I love Christmas so much. That's just fucking. I saw that. It's like, oh my god, we're injecting feminism into the 1800s.
No, we are, but I really want to. This is the synopsis that Universal Pictures has said about Black Christmas. Hawthorne College is quietening down for the holidays. One by one, the sorority girls on campus are being killed by an unknown stalker, but the killer is about to discover that this generation's young women aren't willing to become helpless victims as they mount a fight to finish. Are you kidding me?
What does this world get going to? I swear.
Yeah,
who's gonna start?
I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean,
fuck me.
I know, that's like all you can say now, because I mean, nothing surprises me anymore, and it's just so sad that that's the way that Hollywood has decided to go. I don't understand it though. Like they want to make money, so why are they thinking that this is gonna give them money? Like I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's the snort.
I was watching this trailer and it's just it's obviously it has a, I guess there's the sorority and a fraternity, and you could tell that the fraternity is supposed to be like killing the sisters to like I'm like, are they sacrificing them or something like that? But it's like in the trailer the guy's like, you need to know your place or something like that. And I'm just like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
This is fucking 2019. Nobody fucking says that.
Right?
I'm very much paraphrasing that. But that is how it comes out.
It's like the oh fuck, the Charlie's Angels trailer where like, you know, a woman could do anything. And the guy's like, yes, but should she? It's just like, oh, nobody fucking talks like that. Oh
I can't believe that movie comes out soon too. And I looked and there are 0 tickets sold for the opening night show for it.
Thank God.
Right?
Jesus. Oh,
yeah.
Seriously, I mean, this is why I feel that Hollywood should be burned to the ground.
It should.
Well, what needs to rise up are like independent filmmakers. We need to like start supporting movies that actually are good.
Yeah.
Who's going to fund it?
I understand what Gary is talking about, the whole thing where it's a lot easier for comics kids to make comics because, you know, comics are easy to make. But you, with a modest budget, a filmmaker can make something pretty decent.
Yeah.
The way you get the money is by crowdfunding these days. That's the easiest way of doing it. So yeah. The thing that's really nice about the rise of digital technology and, you know, DSLRs and stuff like that, it actually makes it really easy to produce a decent quality film. And as like the red cameras get cheaper, I mean, I think this was like 20 grand at this point. That's still pretty fucking cheap for a really good HD camera. I mean, a Canon D5 and a D7 run you about, you know, $2 to $4 grand, depending on what you can afford. But if you want a high quality, you know, red camera, you can make a film like a Hollywood quality film on a red camera. And again, like I said, it's last I checked, this is years ago, those things ran 20 grand. You run a really successful Kickstarter campaign, you could buy the fucking camera. Yeah, I mean, I still own like the majority of my filmmaking gear when I was doing independent stuff. You know, I have a dolly, I have a jib. Honestly, these days, you don't need any of that crap because you can do it with a
an iPhone.
No, not an iPhone. I'm
just kidding.
Like the quadcopters they have, you know, those things actually, because if you get like something that's like you know, 1080p, you can use that for like great like sweeping shots. I mean, those things are just really good. But yeah, I mean, and you could do it on iPhone too. I mean, they make these adapters and that you can plug mics into. You know, good the 3-pronged. I don't remember the name of the fucking cable type. And then there's like, you could buy for like your DSLR, you can get like a juice link or, you know, a box that will plug into your camera, and you can run the, you know, the 3-pronged, you know, cables into it that go into your, like your boom mics. Yeah, drone. Thank you. Duh. Fucking drone copter.
Oh, a drone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The drones.
I was going to say that, but I wasn't quite sure, so I stayed quiet.
Me too. I was like, is that a drone?
Yeah.
But I didn't want to sound stupid if it wasn't.
Alex Division is suffering from stream brain where he can't remember words. Yeah, drones. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phantom Power is like his own thing, but I can't remember the name of the fucking connector type. It basically has the 3 pins.
Well, I wanted to point out, to make like something really good on not a ton of money. I don't know, you've probably both seen it, but when Nathan Fillion, the Uncharted,
Oh, that was amazing.
that fan film.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that didn't, cost that much, and it was incredible. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, that is a great example of. I wanted the full movie. Like, it was so freaking good. I was like, oh, and it makes me sick on the stupid ass movie they're gonna make with freaking Tom Holland. He is not Nathan Fillion, okay? Like, they made him after Nathan Fillion. Like, why isn't Nathan Fillion?
I don't know.
I'm like, they're so stupid.
I can't.
I'm like, you have the perfect guy that is the perfect age, perfect everything. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't want that. Like, no one gives a shit about Tom Holland. I'm sorry, but I mean, wasn't he in a movie that they made and they never gonna release it? What was that with
Spider-Man 3?
No, it was with Daisy Ridley, and it was, those two were starring in it, and I swear someone in the chat might know, but I wish I knew the title, but I mean, who really goes to see a movie with Tom Holland? I mean, he's not really in that many movies other than Marvel movies, so I don't see it happening.
So Script Doctor is saying, I heard the Uncharted fan film costs $100K.
But that's really not that bad, though. I mean,
no, if you think about it, that's actually quite
Hollywood.
a bit for it. Yeah, I mean, compared to Hollywood, that's cheap. That's
it was like,
that's quite expensive.
20-minute movie.
A 20-minute, yeah. I mean, that's if you got the money, by all means, you can definitely make it high quality. But yeah, I mean, I could do a lot with $100K. To make.
But I mean, so that's like 20 minutes. They could have spent, probably $1 million to make. I mean, but $1 million to make a really good movie, I mean, that's pretty dang good. I mean, even though it's not going to be, but I was just using that as an example that we don't need to crowdfund 150 million to make a pretty decent movie. You know what I mean? So
yeah, Blair Witch cost 26,000. That's a really cheap movie.
Still better than
even though
the Fanatic movie.
Clerks. I want to say that, I don't remember how much it cost, but I know that Kevin Smith did a huge gamble, and he put all that money on his credit cards to fund that movie.
Well, I love the movie Brightburn. I don't know how many people did love it, but I own it, and it only cost like $7 or $8 million to make.
Right.
And I thought they did a good job.
Script Doctor. Yeah, if it was actually film, he said that will get you basically like a few seconds of footage if it was actually film and not digital. Yeah, that's the reason why the digital revolution is so good. It makes filmmaking so much cheaper. But yeah,
Mark, I'm gonna look that up about Chaos Walking.
But Clerks was over 24,000.
Yes, that is it. Chaos Walking. I don't even know. I guess it still is coming out. But that movie, you guys will have to look it up. Chaos Walking. It's him and Daisy Ridley, and I bet you money that it will bomb because those two cannot hold a movie together. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I don't like Daisy Ridley at all. Like, even though she's awful in Star Wars, I've seen her in a few other things, and I've never liked her.
Yeah, the only thing I've really seen her in was Star Wars, and I can't say whether that is.
Oh hell! It's going to be a trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, what?
It's going to be a trilogy. It's based off of books.
Oh well.
That doesn't mean
and
it's
a
going to be a trilogy.
It's not,
it
yeah, but I
doesn't
mean
mean
that
shit.
it's not going to be. But I mean that's probably what they're thinking it's going to be. Is what I meant.
Well, they tried
So
several of that, like with was it the Vampire Circus or shit? What movie was that? The
Oh,
Vampire Apprentice was supposed to be a new series that did very
oh
poorly.
yeah.
Which I actually thought was kind of interesting, but you know, it's definitely one of those like teenage movies.
So Mark said that Chaos Walking is about a world with no women. So sounds good. So if there's a world with no
Jesus.
women, then why is Daisy Ridley in it? I guess she's the last woman. Maybe they're the last two people on Earth or something. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me mindless zombie movies. I will watch those instead.
So did you watch the one with Adam Driver this year then? And
Hell no.
well, it's zombie.
Yeah, but it's not the normal zombie. I like zombie movies, and I like the really stupid ones that they even. You know what? You can find a lot of like what y'all said earlier about what is it? The movie, what was it? That fan film?
What, the
Uh,
Uncharted one?
Yeah, have you ever heard of a YouTube channel called Dust, where they do a lot of just independent, like 20 minute productions, and I
I've
like it.
heard of it. I've heard of it,
Yeah.
but I've never actually gone and checked it out.
I like it.
Oh yeah, did you see Zombieland 2? Bad Bunny asked. Yeah, did you see that one?
I did not.
I have not yet. I'm waiting.
Well,
I'm waiting. I'm waiting
you know
on a
what?
better. Go ahead.
Yeah. No,
I'm
go
waiting.
ahead.
I'm waiting on a better quality to come out to watch it.
Oh. Well,
If you catch my drift.
Yeah, what I find funny about that movie is that it came and gone, and I didn't hear like anything on it, like nothing.
Which movie?
Zombieland 2.
Oh, okay. Zombieland 2. Okay.
Like I mean, I didn't see not much on it on YouTube and none on Twitter really. I mean, I haven't heard anything. I haven't watched any reviews, but I don't know. Like with Dark Fate, this is such a forgettable movie that in a week I'm not even going to remember it. Like I barely remember it now.
From what I saw from the trailer, it just seemed like it was going to suffer from current political wokeness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see in the chat that they're talking about how there's going to be a new Walker Texas Ranger. You ready for that, comics?
That's gonna be. Are you serious?
Be a woman.
No. Jared Padalecki is from Supernatural. He's going to play it.
Is
that the brother with short hair or longer hair? Which one is that?
Jared Padalecki is the taller one. The tallest one.
I think that's the one with a little bit longer of hair.
He plays Sam.
So did anyone actually see Zombieland? Was it good? Zombieland 2? I mean, I've seen Zombieland.
I haven't.
Yeah, in the chat. I know that we have.
Yeah. I absolutely hated the first one, so I have no interest in the second one. I didn't get it.
I thought it was interesting for what it was worth, but it wasn't like, my favorite.
I haven't seen Zombieland 2, but I've seen the end credit with Bill Murray.
Oh,
and it's freaking hilarious. He's being interviewed because they did a Garfield 3 movie. And Al Roker ends up being a zombie, and it's where Bill Murray, it shows how he was just killing all these reporters and production people. And I was like, fuck, this is awesome. Bill Murray was the only saving grace for me for it in the first one. The first one was okay, but I really liked Bill Murray in it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
I want to wait till they put up a clip of one of my favorite YouTubers is in it as a zombie, Grace Randolph. And so that's like the only scene I want to see, whatever she's in the movie.
It's the mid-credit scene, or it's the end credit scene where he's doing a press junket. Yeah, good old Grace Randolph. Yeah.
Hey, I like her.
She's awesome.
I have no idea who she is.
My sarcasm.
You don't know who Grace Randolph is?
Why?
No.
Why don't you like her though? What's wrong with her?
Oh wait! I think I do know who Grace Randolph. She's the one that does the like trailer breakdowns, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know who you're
Well,
talking
but she breaks down movies too.
about.
But
movies
yeah,
too. Yeah.
I don't agree with her on everything though. I mean, there are a lot of things I don't, but I kind of like how she kind of talks just about the movie and doesn't get into too much of
The politics of the movie.
politics and stuff. Yeah, I like that she actually reviews it for sometimes she does, it depends. So every now and then she'll bring up like how it needs to have better representation and stuff, and I'm like, no, like don't get into that. So every now and then she will, but
No, she complained about the Stallone movie. I've already forgotten about it.
I haven't seen the Stallone movie, but yeah, she was saying how it's like racism towards that group, and it really isn't, because that's like the cartel and that's how they are and they murder people. So it's like she was completely wrong on that. Well, she wouldn't even freaking review Brightburn though. Like she would not. She was like, that is an offensive movie and it's so horrible or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, she wouldn't even review it. I was like, wait a minute, what?
But
Like,
that's the whole No, but that's the
It
whole
was
reason
not
why
even
I can't
bad.
stand. But that's no offense. That's the whole reason why I can't stand the bitch, because
Well,
she'll
see,
review one movie, but she won't do the other one. She said there were the fighting and everything with the Rambo Last Blood. Then 2 weeks later, she reviewed a movie that had more blood and more fighting and stuff like that, and she liked it. For the life of me, I cannot remember which one
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
Beyond the Trailer. That's what she does. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Beyond the Trailer.
I haven't watched her in a long time. I've seen like a few of her stuff. She used to talk about like anti-woke stuff. So I don't know what happened with her.
She got popular.
Yeah. That would make sense.
well, see, the reason why I think I like her is because I kind of like hearing the opposite opinion of myself every now and then. I don't like to just watch stuff that I agree with. And someone in the chat was right.
Chamber.
She is kind of like a shill white. She is like a shill white. She's not like so bad, but she's like, I don't know. But I don't watch every single thing she puts out. So, but
Also, her hair looks weird.
what's wrong with her hair?
The way she parts it.
Well, I really think she needs to color it because it just looks fried as hell. But
It does.
but that's how I mean, I used to be blonde. I used to bleach my hair all the time, and now it's black. But yeah, when it starts getting fried and looking like that, I don't get why some women just like keep going with it. I'm like, I would add some caramel in there or something.
No, ma'am. I bleached my hair and I end up ending like Grace on Terminator Dark Fate.
Yeah, that too.
True story. And I purposely wore hats for 6 months.
Oh, it really happened to you? That sucks.
Absolutely. Because my hair, I bleached it so bad, my hair is damaged. So I had to.
Oh, you did it yourself?
Oh, God. Not this. No, I didn't cut my hair that time.
No, I meant you bleached it so bad. Did you bleach it yourself? Is what I meant.
No, I got it done.
Welcome to
Wow,
Comics
I'm shocked
Division, where
someone
we
did
talk
that.
about beauty tips.
Because I had no idea what the hell you were talking about.
I knew what most of it was, so but yeah. I really want to see now. Speaking of Doctor Sleep in the chat, I am gonna see that now. That looks really good. I've heard good things about it, except someone Mark said that Grace didn't like it, so that's interesting. Anyone else gonna go see it?
Probably not.
Why? You're not a fan?
I'm not a
The Shining?
super huge fan of Stephen King. First off,
Oh,
yeah, I don't know. The only movie I liked that they adapted was The Mist, and my understanding is that they changed the ending. And
They sure did.
I like The Mist a lot. That is,
yeah.
yeah. If you two watch my top 15 movies, you would know that, you know, it's on the list. And it's
Oh, I
pretty
watched
low
it.
down on the list. What's that?
Oh, I watched it.
Yeah.
I agree with some of them.
Yeah. So the mist to me it kind of encapsulates everything I like about horror, which is the fact that you get fucked. You get fucked in the end is the whole thing. You know, the protagonist in the film should, you know, survive, but it is forever changed by the events that take place. And that is just a prime example for those of you who have not seen the movie. I'm not going to spoil it for you. You should see it. But there's just like this fucking heart wrenching scene where it's like, if you just waited fucking 15, 20 minutes, everything would have been all right, but you didn't. And you're kind of like left with this weight of what you did. It's just so fucking well done. I love it. So
Yeah.
which ones in particular do you disagree with? I'm curious.
I liked The Mist, but to me it wasn't much of a horror film though.
You could classify it as survival horror.
That's true. That was the only one that I was just like, is this horror? I mean,
Yeah,
it has
it's horror.
elements, but I'm just like, it just I'm like, damn. Some of these movies really make
It's survival horror. It's just like a zombie movie. You know, the only difference is instead of zombies, they have monsters.
Yeah, it's true. But I liked The Mist. I liked it. You said you didn't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to say anything. Dang it.
Yeah.
Tito and everyone, just refresh. Mine went away too. I had to refresh the chat.
Oh, it went away?
Yeah, well, like it had to buffer the stream.
Yeah, that's weird. I noticed that it kind of buffered for me, and I refreshed, and I'm getting it. It looks like it's pretty grainy now. If I refresh, everything looks fine.
Yeah. So
I actually thought it was my internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on?
No idea. YouTube's just trying to shut us down.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either.
I mean, as much as we try to talk about YouTube and everything like that, and we bitch and stuff about it, we're still live streaming on it.
Yeah, the live stream hasn't gone red yet, so that's pretty much the kiss of death right there.
Yeah, but I did like on your horrors where you had House on Haunted Hill. I loved the one with Jeffrey Rush that was on your list.
Yeah,
and
that movie is actually pretty good. I mean, it's, you know, I know Angleton's like, you know, it's like, why is this on your list? It's like, it's a great movie. There's just like these elements of horror in it that I really love. Like I was explaining the whole thing with the woman disappearing, and then they find her later on, and she's been vivisected, and, you know, all of her body parts are just like laid out nice and neatly in this cabinet, and it's just like, that is really fucked up. You know, it's like it's different what you expect when you find a dead body, right? You know, in a horror movie, blood everywhere, and it's nice and neat and sanitary and sterile, and it's just like,
that sounds like Cannibal.
well, it's it's really well done. It's like, that's fucking disturbing. God,
I haven't watched that video of yours yet. I have it on my watch list. I need to.
I have it pulled up right now because I watched it last week. But and you have on here Stir of Echoes.
Yes,
I actually love the movie Stir of Echoes, and you have the Lost Boys on here.
Yes,
I did not like the Lost Boys growing up, but watching it a few years ago, I actually love the movie. It's one of my favorite movies is Lost Boys.
I actually haven't seen that one either. I've heard of it, obviously.
It's a great movie.
I'll have to watch it then.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I don't know why I haven't never thought of it, because it has doesn't it have what's his face, one of my favorite actors that's in 24. Isn't that who's in it? Kiefer Sutherland. Isn't that him?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing too is I kind of mentioned that with House on Haunted Hill, I love the original Vincent Price too. You know, it's for completely different reasons. But just like, you know, Gregory Rush does such a great job of playing Vincent Price. It's like,
He really does.
yeah, I mean that's like another thing that sold me. I was like, wow. It's like, I mean, he nailed the mustache and everything and his mannerisms. It's like, okay, I'm sold. I'm willing to entertain this movie. And it's like one of my first DVDs I got too. And I just yeah, I just think it was just a pretty good remake. And again, this is a movie, that was made in the 50s, so I don't have a problem with things being remade, and as long as you kind of add something to it, as long as you're not doing it every 5 fucking months. This is a huge chunk of time, 40 something years between when the original came out and this one came out.
So I was going to be really smart ass. Do you think we'll get another Stars Born in about 20 years?
Probably.
Oh hell, we've had like what, 5 remakes of that movie. It's been remade a lot.
But let's see, this current one, the one with Chris Christopherson, Judy Garland, and then there was another one. The one with Judy Garland is called A Star Is Born, but there was one that was in the 30s. Was that called A Star? I don't know if that was called A Star Is Born.
I don't know. I don't think it is. But yeah. Those always annoy me, like the Love Boat remake. I never saw it, but like it always pisses me off when they do something like that, or A Star Is Born, where it's like really these kids don't even see the real good movie like that it should be. But go ahead.
I don't like when they take like TV shows, turn it into a movie, and they make it a comedy, like what they did with Starsky and Hutch. Dukes of Hazzard,
or Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, that was my next one.
They fucking can't do Dukes of Hazzard now because of the whole
Chips.
Thing
I mean,
yeah, but they can't do Dukes of Hazzard anymore because of the whole thing with the Confederate flag. People would just shit themselves to death because of that. And hey, Zippo Fantastic 77, I'm sorry you're late, but you completely missed the Terminator Dark Fate. Initial thoughts and reactions.
What about Baywatch?
Baywatch.
Oh my gosh, that movie was so awful. Like, I could not believe how bad that was.
Dwayne Johnson should have just stayed a wrestler.
I like him as an actor. He's actually a good actor.
He is, but he isn't to me. It's just, I guess, like Hobbs and Shaw. I get the appeal, but was it really necessary?
No, of course not. A lot of it is that he's very charismatic.
Yes, he
is, and that's the appeal of The Rock is his charisma. One somebody mentioned is like, who do if they were to do a Terminator remake, who should they cast as the Terminator? And he says, I think The Rock. I was like, he would be perfect for a Terminator reboot because he's built. He would. He could totally rock the fucking Intimidation. Do as a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wanting to see him as Black Adam. I think that's going to be pretty fucking cool.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that.
But the other thing too is like Daddy's got to pay the bill, so I'm pretty sure he takes these movies as they're not great, but there's definitely that cult following of the Fast and Furious, so I can understand why they would make a Hobbs and Shaw. Because
Hobbs and Shaw to me it's tied for the second best movie of the year for me because I freaking love it. Like I'm a huge Jason Statham fan.
Yeah, I love him too.
Oh, and the banter of those two together throughout the movie was just so funny. And I know it's not technically a good film, and none of the Fast and Furious ones really are. But
no, but
to me, I love how films. And I love how they're so over the top. Like, for an example, on a bad way of over the top that I hated of The Rock's was Rampage. That I did not like that at all.
Like bold, though. I mean, come on. But
and like even Skyscraper, that movie was like, oh hell, can we just call it Die Hard? Really? I mean,
yeah. Well, there's a lot of things too that I can understand the appeal of like the Fast and the Furious because it's all over the top, and it really kind of reminds me of those 80s action movies where it's fucking over the top and it's just ridiculous. And
Yeah.
That was the thing I thought was pretty funny. Was back in the 90s, Arnie did Last Action Hero, which is just a terrible fucking movie, but it's a parody of action films and the whole thing with the action tropes. The whole thing with like the never ending clip of bullets. All the women are super hot. Stuff like that. And it was funny because I was on Angleton's live stream and I was complaining about the whole thing with the 50 cal machine gun being stopped by dead cows. The bullets being stopped by dead cows, and the guy's like, it's like, what about action movies from the 80s? It's like, that's so fucking different, man. It's like, that is so fucking different.
Was this on the drunk stream?
No, it was the previous stream. It
Okay.
was the stream before I was on the drunk stream. It's like I understand where you're coming from, dude, but action movies are over the top, especially 80s action movies are over the top. This show is supposed to be a little bit more grounded in reality. But that was kind of the appeal of action movies in the 80s, is that they're just fucking ridiculous. Nobody took that stuff like super serious. It was just fun. Absolute 100% silly fun. Die Hard being a really good example of that. I mean, I think Die Hard was probably a little bit more on the realism side, but just like anything that had Arnie and Stallone in it, like Cobra and Commando, where he takes the dude's top of his head off with a fucking saw blade. That's not going to happen in real life, most likely. I mean, I'm not gonna try it out, but I'm pretty sure that it's you're not gonna take the guy's head off or the top of his head off with a saw blade.
What did you think of the Expendables?
Oh, I have not seen those movies.
So Expendables?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them.
Oh, you really need to. Like, seriously,
I still haven't seen the John Wick movies either. I get so much shit for that.
You what? I've seen them.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, you really need to see. And it's kind of good that you haven't, because once the third one is out on DVD, isn't it? I think so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I own it. But what you need to do is like sit down and just watch all of them back to back, because they really are they're a good variation. Like the first one is a great balance of like story and action. Second one is a lot more story oriented, and the third one is way more action oriented, and so they kind of balance each other out.
Yeah.
They're really good. I'm shocked that you haven't seen them.
Yeah.
Why?
No.
You don't like Keanu Reeves?
No, I love Keanu Reeves. I just haven't gotten to it. I mean, there's a lot of movies out there I just haven't made priorities to go see.
Yeah.
That's part of it. And
then we watch Dark Fate, don't we?
exactly. So I love this comic, but it's like comics division, but 2019 ridiculous, going way over the top, way overboard, hence Dark Fate. It's like, yeah.
They're not going over the top though.
No, it's there's between over the top and just flat out fucking ridiculous. And that's the problem with like CG.
Yeah.
They can do these like giant fucking spectacles. It's like that whole plane scene in Dark Fate was nothing but a giant fucking spectacle.
Yeah, but it was done horrible. Like, cause in Fast and the Furious, they have a huge plane scene at the end where it's on the runway for like 10 minutes, like even though it wouldn't be on the runway still.
The thing that
it's
Adon
done
was
right
bringing
though.
up, the thing that Adon was bringing up was like the whole idea of like the action star hiding behind a door, and the door, bullets not going through the door. I see Christie change her avatar. But it's like, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm responding to Bad Bunny. I didn't mean to say it out loud.
we lost Christie and we gained an Eric Breen.
Yeah.
That was sorry.
That's funny.
Okay.
You gotta talk with a really deep voice now.
I can't do that.
Of course not. You don't have testicles, that's why. Or is that transphobic?
Who cares at this point? I like Eric Breen. He's like, Christie is once again cutting a dashing figure. I need to find the one where we put Eric's face on a milk carton.
Yeah, that's all Venkman.
I know.
It's pretty funny. It's like the way he likes trolling me, and the way I troll him back is just not by responding to him.
I have a question.
Okay.
Where did they get the don't go full on comics division?
Okay, it's a line from Tropic Thunder, where shit, what's his name's character? Iron Man. He plays this character and he goes, never go full retard. And that's
right.
basically what they're trying to imply.
Oh, Jesus, that hurt. Oh God, that hurt. I'm sorry, I took a drink of alcohol.
Yeah.
I wasn't
And
expecting that line.
it's pretty funny because I easily repeat that with don't never go full J Fairclaw, but
Yeah.
yeah, because
Never.
there's time when I have time, I try and retort back to Jay with something, and I just didn't have anything that day. I think it was just like, yeah, whatever.
I have never seen Tropic Thunder.
Oh my god, that movie's fucking hilarious.
Is that the one where Robert Downey Jr. is doing the
Yes, yeah,
face?
it's where Robert Downey Jr. is. He's this Australian character actor, and he basically makes himself into a black man for this role.
It's the best.
And
It really.
everybody
I need to
flipped out
watch
about
it
it.
again.
I mean, it's one of those funny things. It's like, everyone complains about blackface. It's like, dude, this is like a perfect example of where it's funny. It's fucking hilarious.
Well,
movie
so
is
white chicks
great.
were okay and never got. I mean, so white chicks is all right. So why can't it be the other way around? You know?
Yeah.
Well, that's the only example I know of. I don't. There probably are other examples. I just haven't seen them.
Yeah. I don't fucking care. White chicks, go for it. Yeah, but I mean, he fucking nails that part, and yeah, he's the one that says, never go full retard.
He really is a great actor.
Yeah, he is.
Like
Robert
people
Downey
need to
Jr.'s
give
great.
him more credit than what he gets.
Yeah. What's up, Midnight's Edge After Dark? How's it going? It's been a while.
Yes, hello.
I don't
You
know if
all
it's
right,
really-
Christy?
I don't know if it's really been a while, other than Gary's
She's
scream.
like over there, like squealing over there.
For some reason, there's a can opener on my couch, and I was just twisting it. That's what the noise
Oh, that's
was.
what the squeaking was?
Oh. I was like, wow, that's a high pitched laugh you got going over there.
Well, Eric, here's the reason why I'm having so many senior moments tonight is because I'm fucking tired.
we can't complain, even though it's 12:22 our time. Eric is an hour ahead of us.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, well, the thing is, I kept getting woken up last night. That's the thing that was like really kind of irritating. I mean, this time change has really kind of fucked things up, and mainly the reason why it fucked things up is because my dogs are like, "Hey, look, it's time to get up," even though it's like 7 or 6 in the morning, and that's playing in. I kept waking up several times, throughout the night last night. It happens, man. I have insomnia, and normally I have problems falling asleep. But once I fall asleep, I'm usually just like dead to the world until like 7:30 rolls around, and that's usually when my dogs wake up and want to get let out, and I roll over and let my wife do it. Such a dick. But with the time change, yeah, it's been kind of worse, and last night, it just was not fun. Which makes me happy that I actually got my video done early on Sunday, and I wasn't doing the shit till like 1 a.m. But the funny thing about it, I was talking to my wife, and we were talking about the whole thing with live streaming, and I was like, I was telling her about super chats, and she's like, she's like, what's the super chat? I was like, somebody pays you money to read their comment. She's like, what? Are you serious? I'm like, yeah. She's like, why aren't you doing this more often? I'm like, you normally complain when I YouTube. You usually complain when I live stream too much. It's just like, whatever. Okay. I got the ringing endorsement from my wife now to to interrupt our lives with YouTube.
And no, Tito, I did not fart. No. Yes. Sorry, comics. I needed to put that out there.
Okay.
I'm gonna get Tito. Sorry. But no, I mean, people are like, you pay money for people to read your comments? Not necessarily. I mean, it just depends on how many are in the live stream and in live chat, though.
Yeah.
Because something like this, you can definitely, if you have super chats, yes. But if you have live streams that have thousands of people, I don't know how you could read everything in the chats.
Well, I mean, we're talking about specifically super chats, reading the super
Okay.
chats, because they basically pay you money to read, their super chat.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of the point of the super chat.
Yeah, like Gary's stream on Friday.
Oh my god, that was so fucking funny. Oh, dude, Jeremy, he handled that shit like a champ.
Kalea,
What happened?
there was somebody who was hating on Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers and was insulting Jeremy through super chats he sent to Gary.
Yeah, he was like sending like $5 to $20 super chats. I mean, it was fucking funny. And
I remember.
Jeremy just kept
Yeah.
rolling with it, man. He's like was handling, like I said, he was handling like a champ, and it was fucking funny.
And then there was a guy, I don't know what it was, where my name, I guess I had timed him out or something like that because the guy was being a prick. And he subscribed to my channel. I was like, thanks. This is weird. But yeah.
Yeah.
Why do people do that? I mean, you pay the money to, okay, that's your money. But he sent more than one. You know that comics, right? He sent
he sent
20.
multiples. Yeah, he
sent.
Yeah, it was a lot. I want to say it was like at least a minimum of 5 super chats.
Yeah.
Well, which YouTuber was it that started a live stream and it was just streaming their chair and people were sending super chats to the MVP? Yeah, but that's
fucking hilarious.
I know. Like, I was like, holy shit. Like, why didn't I think of that? Like, that would be hilarious to do.
Yeah.
If I ever get monetized, I'll do that.
Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious, man. He just complete accident. Yeah.
And people are saying super chats. I'm like, wow, that's great. So yeah.
Yep.
YouTube is funny.
It really is. It is a funny animal, and that's the thing that's so great about it. Because like if you stream a lot and you have a pretty big channel. I mean, Gary has which is pretty funny considering he's considered to be a small YouTuber, because he's not in the millions. I mean, over 100 subs, man. You're doing something right at that point. That's a lot.
100,000 or 100?
No, 100,000. Sorry.
Okay.
Did I say
I know. I was like, oh, dang. I was like, thanks, comics.
No, sorry. My bad. 100,000. Another boomer moment. But you get the point, right? So I mean, you once you hit that number of 100,000, I mean, you have a lot of people watching your videos at that point, and a lot of the whole thing streams. Yeah, like the one I was like really amazed by his AA stream. He got a lot of freaking super chats for that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And he got slack for that too, because of the story, and the super chats weren't turned off. And he even said that he would do it to wherever he was sending it. I can't remember.
Yeah, he's going to donate it though.
Yeah. Of course, if Mark is in the chat, and Mark might remember where he would say he was going to donate it. But I got a lot of views, and I think he's already deleted it though.
Yeah. It's probably marked as unavailable more so than
anything else.
Hey, comics, did you know that you're not a boomer? You're actually Generation X.
I am a Gen Xer. But boomer is
like a great term. Yeah, it's term.
Become like a catch-all term, because if you actually look up boomer, what it means now, besides baby boomer, is it's typically referring to somebody who's over 30s that likes like rock music from the 90s. That's typically what they mean by a boomer.
Oh, then I'm considered a boomer then. That makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, that's why Jeremy refers to him. Not Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, but Jeremy from the Quartering refers to himself as a boomer. Because I was wondering, it's like, what the fuck are they talking about? It's like you're not a fucking baby boomer, dude. And I looked it up on Urban Dictionary. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I have to
Dictionary,
use urban a
internet
lot.
slang.
I have to all the time. So
I'm driving. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I mean, I listen to rock music up here, and I mean, classic rock or anything. I don't like today's music. And I finally got a rental car, and I'm driving the rental car, and I'm like blaring country music out in this rental car. But it's what the rental car is it's a Dodge 2019 Dodge Challenger.
Okay.
And I'm blaring out country music in this car, and the people who are parked next to me they're like, "Why are you playing country music in that car?"
Because it's a rental.
Because it's a rental, but y'all don't understand. When I got it, the lady was telling it to me, and I was like, "It has push start." I was like, "Cars have push starts now." I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Rather than using a key.
Yeah, rather using a key.
yeah, my car doesn't have a key.
And then she's like, "It has a Hemi." I said, "What's a Hemi?"
Oh dear.
A Hemi,
Oh.
basically a truck engine.
Yeah.
Yes, and on Monday when I went to work and I get on 635 comics. If you've ever been in that area, Dallas area, it's 635. It's horrible.
I probably have, but I have no idea what you're talking
Okay,
about.
the
I don't
highway.
know all the freeway names.
What's a shitty freeway?
35.
35. There you go. That's the 35 driving down to South Texas or something like that. And I'm getting into the left-hand lane because the speed limit is 70. And I'm pushing on the gas, and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm going 93. I better slow down."
I'm actually going to be in Fort Worth in a week.
Oh, lovely Fort Worth, Texas.
Yep. That's going to be fun.
Christie drives right into the car in front of her. Ha, Eric. Even though technically that's true.
Yeah, Dallas is traffic is terrible because it's basically like 90 miles an hour bumper to bumper, and everybody, if you so much like tap your brake, you're getting into a fucking accident.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's terrible. Fortunately, every time I've driven to Dallas, I've managed to not get into an accident. Knock on wood, it fucking stays that way since I'm going up soon. But yeah, it's the funny thing about Dallas is that there's two cities. There's Dallas and Fort Worth, and it's called the Metroplex for a reason because the two cities have merged.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't take that long to get from Dallas to Fort Worth. Or
if there's no traffic, it's not a big deal.
No, well, it also depends on what time of day you're going there too, and if you're taking the toll and you're taking the tolls.
Yeah, that sucks that you guys have tolls and stuff. We don't have that.
Yeah. It's
I don't even know how they really work.
All right.
Which dog? I was gonna say, is it yours or Kalea's?
Oh no, mine's dead asleep.
Mine. He probably needs to go potty, so I should.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we should probably call it. He's wanting. He's like, okay,
Yeah.
I know what your problem is, dog. I'll let you out.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and call it for the evening, folks. So thank you very much. It seems like we lost a lot of people when we started talking about traffic. Good night, everyone. Have a good time.
Night.
And if go ahead before we actually hang the sucker up, why don't you go ahead and pimp your channels?
Oh yeah, I guess we should do that.
We'll start with you, Christy.
Hello. How are you? I have a channel. I post things on there. I talk about anything and everything, really. There's not one thing I don't talk about. And I'll put it in the live chat. Please subscribe. I'm only about 140 or so from 1,000. So, yeah. Wasn't that a great pitch, comics?
Fantastic. It's better than mine sometimes on Gary's stream. I'm like, oh, what the fuck am I going to talk about? I make videos on occasion.
Yeah.
And I talk about how I'm going to make a video, and I don't end up doing it because something else comes up. So I still want to make my physical media video talking about, why you should buy physical media instead of just doing straight digital. Kalea.
I am going to start videos in the next week or two. So mine is the Cinema Queen, and I'm gonna cover, like my name suggests, movies and TV shows. And so I want to be starting in a week because I want to cover The Mandalorian, because I want to. It premieres, I think Disney Plus goes live like at 3 a.m. or something. So I'm going to stay up, watch it, and review it that morning.
Yep.
So
I'm not getting Disney Plus for free.
me too, because of Verizon.
Exactly. That's how I'm getting.
I know. Like I already signed up, and then I saw that and was like, all right, well, I'll have to cancel. And then I don't know how that works yet. So do you?
I'm gonna be watching them for free also.
Because of Verizon, or you're just gonna boot them?
I'm gonna watch them. I don't want to get comics in trouble or anything like that. So, but I am going to be watching them.
Yar! I think that's what she's saying.
Yar!
All right, everyone. Good night. Have a good evening, and we'll talk to you later.
Good night.